Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress. I got another cool oracle deck called Goddesses and Sirens by Stacey DeMarco and illustrated by Jimmy Manton. And I think these two paired up also for Gods and Titans, which I originally was going to get first because I wanted to have some more male testosterone in my readings, something where you can identify with the divine masculine a little bit better for these twin flame readings. But when I saw this deck, I was like, oh, so I'm gonna get both eventually. I'm gonna get the Gods and Titans too, but I wanted to go ahead and get this one first because it has a very special card in it that I need to show you. So it comes in a very nice box. I don't know if this is I didn't see. Is this Hay House? Well, it's in a similar box, but the cards are like there's an indentation for the cards, so that's nice. And then this book is really cool. Like there's all these it talks about, each card individually, of course, but it also, in the front, it talks about conjuring up the goddesses and the tools that you need for different sort of, so to invoke a particular goddess featured. So they have like spells or something to invoke the different goddesses. And the goddess, so I had to get a goddess deck because I'm part fairy, part warrior. I'm a warrior fairy, and so the goddess warrior is part of my spirit, and I need to be in touch with them too, the goddesses, in order to fully express the parts that I connect to. I'm not just a whimsical fairy, but I have this powerful warrior woman inside me as well. And so I thought this one really called out to me. So this book is a nice book. Great descriptions and like and I like that each card has a shadow side, and then it has an invocation, a kind of spell type thing. So that's really neat. All right, I really just barely glanced through it, and that's what popped out of me in the book. But it seems very handy. All right, let's look at the cards. Well, might as well look at the back first. This would also make a very nice tattoo. That's a nice symbol. I don't know if there's mine. And it's a very pretty back. And it looks reversible. So I don't know how important that is to you guys, but for me, don't do reverse very much. I haven't at all yet, but I'm not opposed to it per se. So let's take a good look at these. They're really, really beautiful. I think I will not pronounce them. Maybe some of the ones that I can pronounce, I will pronounce. And yes, well. Amaterasu, there, self-esteem. Andromache, strength. Aphrodite, self-love. Artemis, individuation. Athena, strategy. Baba Yaga, authenticity. She's creepy. Fast play. Boudica, unity. So that's it. You can see two people in that one. Brigid, healing. This one's very pretty. Oestre, not real sure if that's right. New beginnings. Freya, irresistibility. Freya's that's one of my favorites. Very cool. This one too, I just love this. Gaia creation. It's really beautiful. Hathor, contentment. It's very nice too. I love the females' faces in all of these. They're just they're beautiful and kind of earthy. Hecate, illumination. Helena Troy, beauty. Hera, commitment. Isis, protection. The Ice Cream Man is still coming out, and it's October, but it's still hot here. Ixchel, release. That's really powerful. And here she is, Jeanne D'Arc. So I'm going to tell you, stop right here for a moment on Jeanne D'Arc. Because Jeanne D'Arc, Jeanne is my name. I was named after Jeanne D'Arc. And I will read to you who Jeanne D'Arc is. I also really love that she's Faith. That's so cool to me. So hello, my name is Cherry Enchantress, but my real name is Jeanne. Nice to meet you. Okay, so Jeanne D'Arc, and I was named after Jeanne D'Arc. And my mom chose it because she was brave, and she thought that I would grow up to be brave. So hold on to your dreams, even through adversity. Develop faith in yourself and a spiritual power. Trust is important. You must trust your own leadership abilities or improve on them. Be not afraid. You were born for this. Yes, and this nice towel my sister gave me. You know, I'm going to do a whole France pilgrimage to learn about my namesake one of these days. That's a goal, to go to France. And my mom just recently gave me this fleur-de-lis, which is, I think it's featured on her weapon. It's a French symbol that is associated with Jeanne D'Arc as well. So I've been wearing it all the time now. The Maid of Orleans. The teenage Jeanne d'Arc, Joan of Arc, remains one of history's greatest women. The sheer amount of primary sources left to us, including eyewitness accounts, court documents, and even letters written by Jeanne herself, are testament to the incredible power of this young woman. She remains a national heroine of France, a Catholic saint, a symbol against political repression, and an inspiration to women the world over. Part of the magic of Jeanne is that she was a country peasant girl born in 1412 into a society that was patriarchal and very hierarchical. The daughter of ordinary people, she claimed to have been receiving divine visits from Archangel Michael. Ooh, goosebumps, because I have such a connection with him. Okay, so Archangel Michael, Saint Margaret, my mom's name is Margaret, and Saint Catherine since she was a child. So in the midst of the 100 Years' War, two French factions, the Armagnacs and the Burgundians, were fighting for control over the throne. English invaders backing the Burgundians took advantage of this chaos and captured many French towns, including Orleans. Jeanne's visions told her to lift the siege of Orleans and to take the Dauphin, the crowned Charles VII, to Reims for his coronation. She managed to get access to Lord Robert de Baudricourt and convinced him to take her to Dauphin. She famously cut off her long hair and dressed in a male page's clothes for the journey so that she would not be conspicuous during the long ride. Dauphin was sufficiently impressed and insisted that the high-ranking theologians and inquisitors examine Jeanne. All deemed that there was nothing improper about her. She was good, humble, chaste, and pious. And so Charles raised an army, and Jeanne rode with him to Orleans, where a series of mighty victories encouraged a campaign that quickly put Charles on the throne in Reims. Dressed in shining armor, riding astride a battle horse, and carrying her battle standard, teenage Jeanne inspired and rallied everyone on the battlefield. We see her strength and conviction in her communications to her enemy. Her second letter to the English in 1429 stated, "My Lord commands you to go back to your own land, for it's his will, or otherwise I will cause such a disaster for you." Jeanne was incredibly intelligent and inspiring, but the trial transcripts from when the English captured her and accused her of heresy made for sobering reading. They attacked everything from her visions to her loyalty, and even her hairstyle and clothes. Those of an aware and astute young woman. Her faith in herself and her God shone through in the face of hostile clergy, a barrage of lawmakers, and death itself. While Jeanne was convicted of heresy, this was only a crime if it was repeated. One of the stipulations of Jeanne's reform was that she only dress in the feminine clothing. Still in prison, she complained that she was the victim of an attempted rape and decided to dress in men's clothing again for her own protection. This was enough to condemn her, and she was executed by burning at the stake simply for dressing in men's clothes. Eyewitnesses' accounts say that she held on to her faith until the end and asked clergymen to hold up a cross so she could see it as she burned. In 1456, a legal retrial in absentia absolved her of her crimes. The Catholic Church made Jeanne d'Arc a saint in 1920. Her statues are all over France, but the most famous rests in the beautiful Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Jeanne comes riding into your life with her battle standard held high. Legend has it that, as she rode bravely toward the enemy, she said, "I am not afraid. I was born for this." Her energy can help inspire complete faith in yourself and in a higher power to lead you to your greatest good. When you need the energy to do what you think is right, even in the face of what others think you should do, or to trust yourself and your own visions for your future, ask Jeanne for help. Jeanne was single-minded and kept her focus, and this is ideal energy to use when you need inspiration to carry on through obstacles. Her courage and her sheer goodness are also wonderful attributes to hold on to, especially faced with outside pressures you know are not healthy. So the shadow side, I haven't read this part. Sometimes having a rigid, blind faith does not serve us. While it is important to hold on to our dreams and intentions and to focus on the outcome, to do this without taking note of what is happening around us can be folly. Jeanne was eventually put to death for a technicality. She was perhaps unaware of the implications of some of her actions. When our actions go against sound advice from other corners, we are well advised to carefully think through what we should do as opposed to forging ahead without consideration. And her symbols are maiden on horseback dressed in armor, halo, battle standard, French colors, blue, white, and red. And if you want to call upon Jeanne D'Arc, when you need to stay the course or be assured that your path is indeed the right one, you can say this prayer to Jeanne D'Arc. Light a white candle, sit quietly, close your eyes, and imagine Jeanne in her armor on her white battle horse. Look at her face, see how determined yet calm she is. She now looks at you and tells you that you can trust yourself and your vision of the future. Open your eyes and say, Jeanne D'Arc, Maiden of Orleans, you who are so sure of what to do and your faith, I pray that I can be as strong and sure. Grant me trust in myself and the divine. Show me that I can make a difference in my life and in the lives of others, and bring me through every battle I may face. Spend time in her energy. When you're ready, blow the candle. And that's it. Whew, I'm sorry about that. I got emotional. Anyway, Jeanne D'Arc, faith. Next. All right, so now we have Fear Kali. Kuan Yin, comparison. Oh, compassion. That's better. Lakshmi, prosperity. Lilith, equality. Ma'at, justice. Morgan Le Fay, magic. The Muses, inspiration. Nut, expansiveness. Oya, power. Like that one. That's really cool. Pele, purpose. Such beautiful drawings. Persephone, cycles. Pomona, plenty. Quetesh, pleasure. Rhiannon, self-trust. This horse is just amazingly beautiful too. I mean, Rhiannon, she's cute too. Sekhmet, reduction. I know about this Egyptian goddess. I have a friend who knows her. Shilana Gig, gateways. Sirens, temptation. Valkyries, redemption. Vesta, home. White buffalo woman, peace. It's nice, all these nationalities. And Yemaya, hope. So there you go. Very nice deck. Powerful women, goddesses, can give us inspiration in our lives. And Joan of Arc, Jeanne D'Arc, my special namesake and goddess. Now I'm blessed to have a card of hers and a special prayer that I can send up to her. And thank you for indulging that little trip on Joan of Arc. You definitely can skip over that if that's not anything you're interested in. But anyway, thank you for indulging me on my Jeanne D'Arc talk. And hope you like that deck. And faith, trust, and pixie dust.